What kind of shots can you create when an action camera finally comes with variable aperture? Hey everyone, today we're looking at the DJI Osmo Action 6, a camera that arrived in a way no one really saw coming. It brings variable aperture, a macro lens, built-in filters, and some of the best image quality ever put into an action cam. In this video, I'll walk you through everything, from setting up the camera right out of the box to using the macro lens, understanding cinematic shooting rules, the accessories I recommend, and even a simple step-by-step guide on how to film your own action-style sequences. As always, this video is packed with useful info, so make sure to like, comment, and subscribe before we jump in. A quick shout out to my tech partner from China for sharing this video. A big thank you for making this possible. Hey everyone, it's Maiky from techmaiky. If you love staying updated with the latest gadgets, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss out on our exciting tech content. If you want this camera to be your all-purpose tool for vlogs, travel clips, daily recording, and sports footage, these settings will be your go-to. Start by switching the video bitrate to high and setting the resolution to 4K at 30 FPS. This gives you cleaner details and more natural motion blur. If you need to create content for different social platforms, you can now freely crop your footage. Thanks to the new 1.1-inch square sensor, you get better dynamic range and the freedom to resize your frame to whatever ratio you want. For white balance, set it to 5600K when shooting outdoors in daylight. Indoors or in mixed lighting, keep it on auto at first, then switch to manual once the value stabilizes. For exposure, stick to auto and set your ISO range between 100 and 800 while keeping your EV steady. If you're not planning to do color grading, choose the standard color mode. One of my favorite additions is the new film tone option. It's basically like having built-in filters for different moods. Just pick the tone that fits your scene and style. You can even control how strong the filter effect is, letting you avoid oversaturated colors and instantly create a cinematic look. Perfect for beginners or anyone who doesn't want to edit heavily. Set texture to 9:2 and desaturation to -2 as well. Now for the biggest new feature, variable aperture on an action camera. For beginners, I recommend using auto f2.2 f4 when you're shooting outdoors in bright light and auto f2 f4 when you're indoors or in more complex lighting. This helps you get clean, stable footage with better performance in dark environments. But if you want to push the camera beyond beginner mode, unlock its full image quality, and dive into more advanced shooting techniques, let's move on to the next level. If you're using a DJI device, you simply can't ignore D-Log-M, whether it's from a Mavic, Pocket, or Action model. D-Log-M acts as the color bridge between all your clips, making your edits smoother and your transitions more visually consistent. It also helps unify your vlogs, especially when you're mixing footage from multiple cameras. So if you plan to color grade in post, enabling D-Log-M is your first step. Next, adjust your frame rate to 4K 60 FPS. This gives you more control and flexibility when editing and grading later. For aperture, choose based on your environment. Under bright midday sunlight or in wide open outdoor spaces, lock the aperture at f4 to keep highlights under control and preserve more detail. When you're shooting street scenes or in cloudy low light conditions, switch to f2.8. If you're filming at night, turn on night mode and set the aperture to f2.0 to let in more light and get better nighttime results. And if you love those dramatic starburst lights in night scenes, close the aperture down to f4.0 for a sharp, clean star effect. If you want any parts shorter, more energetic, or more cinematic sounding, I can adjust the style. Just tell me. Now for the fourth step, and this one is a game changer, the macro lens. Yes, the ultimate cinematic upgrade. When you attach the macro lens to the Action 6, it unlocks a hidden level of shooting power. You can lock the aperture at f2, and once you switch into macro mode, the minimum focusing distance drops to just 11 millimeters. That means close-up shots and tight details instantly get real, optical bokeh, something action cameras almost never deliver. Of course, action cameras are made for action, right? So how do we turn beginner-style clips into truly dynamic, high-energy footage? The secret isn't just in how fast you're moving in real life. Creating a sense of speed happens by using composition and shooting techniques to trick the viewer's eyes. The first trick is using an ultra-wide lens. Wide-angle lenses naturally exaggerate perspective. When you shoot in a POV style with an ultra-wide field of view, anything close to the camera looks much bigger, and the frame covers more area as you move. This makes your brain instantly interpret the motion as faster. The second key to capturing speed is motion blur. Our perception of movement isn't only about seeing a subject change position. It's heavily influenced by how the background moves in relation to that subject. When the subject stays sharp and the background smears into trailing lines, your brain immediately thinks, Whoa, you're flying! Getting this effect is easier than it looks. Switch from auto exposure to manual. For road cycling, a shutter speed between 180 and 1/100 of a second usually works great. If you're shooting outdoors in strong sunlight, set the aperture to f2.8 and attach an ND filter. With just these adjustments, you'll capture that high-speed feeling effortlessly. Earlier, we talked about how important accessories are for action cameras. But which ones actually help? Which ones are worth the money? And how can people using multiple cameras avoid overspending? For many women creators, a car suction mount often becomes the first must-have accessory. It's something we use all the time, from endless in-car selfie angles to outdoor setups where you need stable shots. Vloggers can pair it with a DJI mic and a small extension rod, giving you dual-channel audio and crisp sound. Solo travelers can use tracking mode with a tripod to easily film centered vlogs. Hikers who want to stay hands-free can use a screen protector-style clip on their backpack strap. To get authentic POV shots, cyclists can use a handlebar mount or a chest strap for quick, effortless selfies. And if you're already in the DJI ecosystem, you'll be happy to hear that many accessories, like those for the Nano or Action 5 Pro, work perfectly with the Action 6. This saves money and makes switching angles or using multiple cameras way more convenient. After 2 weeks of using the Action 6, the biggest thing that stood out to us is just how impressive the image quality is. Some of the clips genuinely look like they came from a professional camera when I review them. At the same time, it still has the classic strengths of an action cam: long battery life, durability, and excellent noise reduction. Add in improved low-light performance, better stabilization, built-in film tone controls, and internal storage, and it becomes much more than a typical action camera. From beach motocross and road biking to capturing plants, scenery, or everyday moments, this little device handles action, audio, and photography all at once. I can slip it right into my pocket, and I no longer have to choose between portability and image quality. That honestly is what impressed me the most about the Action 6. I hope this video helped you make your buying decision. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.